it. You cameraman do one hand, baby. Warmer up here. Not really.
Okay, well, these numbers don't make sense. This is one. Hello and welcome to Wayne Valley Television. I'm Tom Santinello alongside Tyler Maines. Tonight we'll be bringing you boys lacrosse as the Indians of Wayne Valley take on the visiting Riverdale Golden Hawks. Tyler, what are you looking for in tonight's match?
I'm looking forward to a great match tonight, Tom. Wayne Valley is coming into the game undefeated, outscoring their opponents 81-12 tonight. And well, Riverdale, they're doing pretty well, not as good. They're coming in at 5-2, winning 3 of their last 4. They just came off against a big three overtime game against Demarest on Tuesday, so they might be a little shaken, but we should be in for a really good matchup today.
Yeah, Riverdale's one of those historic blue blood programs that every year in and year out, you expect them to be competitive, and this is really going to be a big measuring stick for Wayne Valley to see if they really are that good. They've been, like you said, they've been cruising. They've been outscoring their opponents 81-12 this season, on their way to a 7-0 record, which is the best start in school history. Their defense has been stifling over this 7-game winning streak, only allowing 1.71 goals per game.
And a key factor tonight for the Indians is going to be captain Tommy Pellegrino. He just came off a game where he scored his 100th career goal, so that's really nice to see.
Another surprising aspect of the Indians' fast start is how early they've been able to find success under first-year coach Robert Glander. He came over after coaching in Chatham for many years, and he's made an immediate impact, bringing the motto "No excuses" to the team. It's really seemed to resonate.
Yeah, Coach Glander has really whipped these guys into shape, and it's shown in these first couple games of the season.
Look for a dogfight at the face-off X. Wayne Valley's senior, Mark Dubois, has been phenomenal all year, winning almost 70% of his face-offs. He'll be going up against number 25, Kieran Hughes from Riverdale, who's also been pretty efficient this year. And we're off. Ball's loose. Both teams still fighting for possession. And that's going to be reeled in by Black, but they can't hold on to it for very long. Senior Danny Dettinger with the smart play, pushing the Riverdale guy out of bounds. Something to watch for when Wayne Valley has it on their end of the field. They're going to try to get it back to their senior goalie, Nick Beninati, to run their clear. Beninati sends it off to Dubois. He gets a touch in the restraining area, and the Indians look to settle. That's number 13, Dave Fletcher, applying pressure on sophomore Regan Capozzoli.
Wayne Valley getting some really good initial pressure on Riverdale here, keeping the ball in the offensive zone.
Wayne Valley just looking to pass it around, poking and prodding at the Riverdale zone. Man. Dubois beats his man and sends in the lefty ripped in the bottom corner of the net. And the Indians are off to an early 1-0 lead.
Dubois with a great move around defender Zach Kay on Riverdale, and he gets Wayne Valley out to an early 1-0 lead.
Wasn't getting the shot, Randall.
I'm sorry, I'm bad.
Now see number 2, Tommy Moran, headed over to the face-off X, who's been even more efficient than Dubois, up to almost 90% success rate.
He said something to you. If you hit this thing right, you're not getting that. That means
Ball's loose. Riverdale possesses. Nice check put on by Moran. Regan Capzoli. Early on, we've seen the Riverdale Hawks put on a lot of pressure on the outside. They're not going to let the Indians just sit there and pass it around. Tommy ran with a nice split dodge. Attacking Regan Capzoli has a short stick on him. Look for him to take advantage of the mismatch. He'll take his guy towards that Gioli. Puts a split on. Turnover by the Indians. That's number 7. Indians get back into the play and force another turnover. Tommy Moran pushing it. He'll get a touch, and the Indians will look to set off the fast break.
I don't know who that is.
So far, we've seen a real possession-oriented attack by the Indians. Not looking to force the issue. Indians are going to keep possession as Capzoli takes it by X. Capzoli sends it over to Cavill, the lefty. He'll roll back to his left. Forces the Riverdale defenders to switch. Capzoli, back to Capzoli. Risky pass by Capzoli, almost intercepted by number 13, David Fletcher.
Moran did a nice job shaking out of that one.
Dubois puts another move on his man. Has to roll back. Dubois a nice move, but really should have bounced that one, threw it right to the goalie's net.
Come on, Regan, get back.
Max Sander dumps it off to number 22, Rich Jinding. And now the Hawks look to make something of their first lengthy possession of the evening. We're seeing aggressive man defense put on by both teams. D pulls for Wayne Valley are really making life tough for the shorties of Riverdale. Almost picked off by McConaughey. Ball's loose, Cannon Coyle possesses. He'll throw it back to Beninati. Hawks have yet to get a shot on net halfway here through the first quarter.
Well, great defense by McConaughey and Cannon Coyle. See if the Indians can create
Pellegrino will
something.
take it himself. Great check put on by number 4, Michael Sirico, forcing an Indian turnover. Number 13, David Fletcher, looks to possess. He'll look up field and finds Kieran Hughes. Danny Dettinger, with a nice trail check.
Jack White and Braden Phillips check in for the Indians.
Hawks operating out of a 2-3-1 set. Phillips is able to cut his man off. Hughes makes a run towards net. Nice recovery by Tommy Moran. Rakani applying pressure number 5, Sal Albanese. Shot. Still nothing on net as we get to the 4:45 mark of the first quarter.
Well, Russell Ewan trying to get that one into Thomas Quinn for Riverdale, and Quinn just missed the goal by a
nice
couple
cut.
inches.
Unable to bring it in. That's another turnover. Braden Phillips possesses. He'll start to run a break. Braden looking to beat Hughes to the outside. He's unable to. Hughes with a nice check. He'll throw it back to Thomas Quinn. Shot. Wide left. It's probably the cleanest look the Hawks have got all evening.
Let's finish, Black. Let's finish.
And knowing how good the Wayne Valley defense has been, that's probably the cleanest look they'll get all night.
Hawks are going to have to take advantage of these fast break opportunities. It's like we've talked about from the beginning of the broadcast. The Indians' defense has been dominant throughout the season, so they're not going to get many shots in a set offense.
Yeah, the chances they get early, they cannot take them for granted, and they have to capitalize if they want to have a chance at winning this game.
Max Ender sends it around at number 22. Look for the Hawks to try to work to number 8, Jake Manning, who leads leading goals at 17 on the season. Another turnover forced by this Indians team. They've been dominant so far.
Yeah, Mike. Guys, get up. Let's go. Ready? I'll get you down.
A trip's called on number 22, Rich Jinding. Indians are going to take possession.
Oh, fuck. Is that
Indians are going to have their first man-up opportunity of the evening. Let's see if they can add to their 1-0 lead. Rudo smartly putting 4 long poles out there. Costly turnover by the Indians. Number 3, John Wappelhorst gains possession. Pellegrino gets it right back, but he's going to be called for a push. Ty Pellegrino is going to get dinged for the push with possession and a 30-second technical foul.
5 on 5 for 30, guys. 5 on 5. Hey, Tom.
It's a costly turnover for Wayne Valley, but you can't do that when you have the man advantage. Even if Riverdale's pushing up the field, you can't give up the costly turnovers.
We'll be playing 5-on-5 lacrosse for the next 30 seconds. Indians force another turnover, but no one seems to be able to corral loose ball. Just scrap behind the X. Ball goes out of bounds. Let's see what the ref calls it. That's going to be Wayne Valley possession.
Everyone was scrapping around that ball, and it was right underneath Jack White's legs, and he was just standing there, not really knowing where the ball was. And he, meanwhile, just kicks it out of bounds.
McConaughey sends it across to Coyle, who'll look to leg it. He can't hold on to possession. He'll drop it off to Braden Phillips, who gets dropped by number 25, Kieran Hughes. That's going to be a loose ball push. The senior Hughes welcoming freshman Braden Phillips to the big show. Risky pass by Pellegrino, and it gets picked off. Nice spin put on by number 3, John Wappelhorst. Hughes possesses after the ball gets knocked loose. Danny Dettinger putting good pressure on. Charlie Racine tried getting a quick shot, but was knocked down. Easy save for Nick Beninati, his first of the evening.
Great defense by Cannon Coyle up front, helping out Beninati with the save there.
Another bad pass and a costly turnover for the Indians. Number 22, Rich Stringding, takes it up by the top of the box. He gets a touch and then dumps it off to number 44, Tom Quinn. Good defense being applied by Ty Pellegrino, forcing his man to the outside. Jinding gets double teamed. He's able to react. Quinn rips. Looks like it hit a player. Riverdale's going to keep possession as Sal Albanese will take it behind crease. We have less than a minute here in the first quarter. Cut by Rending. Ball gets knocked down by Jack White. Nice recovery. Cannon Coyle blitzes his defenders. Throws it back to McConaughey. McConaughey sends it up to Ty Pellegrino, and the Indians have 30 seconds to make something happen. Timeout called by Coach Robert Glander here with 27 seconds left in the first quarter. So Tyler, so far we've seen a defensive struggle. Both teams struggling to hold on possession for any substantiated time period.
Yeah, we haven't really seen the ball in the middle of the field. Both teams controlling the ball really well on offense and kind of struggling a bit on defense. One thing I'm looking to see is senior Kyle Cavill down low for the Indians on offense. He's not the biggest of guys, but the Riverdale defense has a lot of big guys surrounding the goalie. So if he can get one in there and then squeak one by for a nice goal, that would be really huge for the Indians.
Phil does present a matchup problem for the Hawks, as these guys probably aren't used to defending lefties, and that's an advantage Phil has. He's one of the few lefties on the field tonight. He's crafty in space, has 6 goals on the season.
Yeah, what he doesn't have in size, he's got in handiness.
That's where I'm going to college.
I'm kind of busy.
Out of this timeout, look for the Indians to pass it around for 5-10 seconds down to the 20-second mark, and then have some cutters going through, have maybe a guy beat his guy off the cross.
Smoke cigars during Tennessee games.
55! 55!
Indians pass it around. Dump it off to Pellegrino, who swings it over to Dubois. Dubois makes a move, back to Pellegrino. Passing it around. Pellegrino throws it away again. 3 seconds left here in the first quarter. It looks like we're gonna go to the break. 1-0 Indians.
Looks like Wayne Valley was trying to hold there for the last shot, and wide pass gives Riverdale the ball with some seconds.
Riverdale does a nice job making a last-minute stand. It's sent up the field by number 9, Nystead. Knocked down by the Indian defense, and we go to the break. 1-0 Indians. A defensive struggle. Tyler, the Indians have been dominating their last few opponents. They've won their last 2 games 13-1, the one before that 11-1. They've been utterly dominant. Do you think that it's messing with their psyche a little bit that they aren't racing out to a big lead like they're accustomed to?
No, I think Coach Glander has them under control. I think he'll tell them that listen, you're not going to win every single game by 10, 11, 12 points, and in the close ones you have to play harder. And them playing harder in this game, it will show them what a real opponent is.
On a chilly night against a good opponent, this is the type of game that builds character for a young team.
Yeah, it's the games where when you're cruising along in the season and then you hit a roadblock and a team that really toughens you up. That's what really makes a team stronger as a whole.
Just mentioned the Indians' youth. Look for the dynamic sophomore duo of Regan Capozzoli and Tommy Rand to have a big impact on the game. Combined, they have 24 goals on the season.
Yeah, you mentioned the youth. Even Braden Phillips contributing out there, a freshman. So Wayne Valley, the seniors are doing great for them. The juniors doing great as well. But the sophomores and the freshmen are even getting some playing time on varsity, and that'll be huge in the next couple of years.
Yeah, the Indians really seem to have a good balance of senior experience or just experience in general, guys who have been around the past few years, and young underclassmen.
Oh, absolutely.
Frank, good shot right now. Look at me.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you see coaches and players with sweatshirts and hoodies and beanies, and you would
Jake's starting that thing.
normally you wouldn't believe us if we were telling you that this game was being played in mid to late April.
I was like crouched down.
Unseasonably cold weather for sure, Tyler.
6 points.
Back at the face-off X, it will be Mark DeWall versus Kieran Hughes. DeWall jumped early and the Hawks gained possession. Racine being chased by Cannon Coyle. Ball almost rolls out of bounds as Jake Bannon couldn't bring it in clearly. Adjustment by Riverdale, UC number 8, Jake Manning, add towards the top of the box instead of being buried on the crease. Riverdale looking to get their top goal scorer involved.
Yeah, and they're up at the crease now, and as soon as they can work towards that goal and get the defense a little shaken, they can create some goals.
Manning being played against Wayne Valley's best defender, Danny Dettinger. And that's Charlie Racine with a nice split dodge. He's able to tie this game up 1 minute into the second quarter, 1-1. A rare defensive breakdown by the Indians.
And we mentioned it, they just got to work the ball in. Doesn't have to be the quickest of goals, but work the ball in slowly, get the defense off guard, and just get one past the goalie.
That's a good example of good, fundamental, patient lacrosse. They're able to work it around, find a mismatch they liked, and then, like an old coach used to say, nothing happens in lacrosse till someone beats their man, and Charlie Racine was able to work that beautifully there. And
it's going to take that good fundamental lacrosse to beat the undefeated Wayne Valley Indians.
Tommy Rand back out of the face-off X. There's a scrap. Neither man's able to win possession. Hughes gets possession. Chase put on by Capozzoli. He'll dump it off to number 6, Connor Murphy. Murphy gets a touch and they'll look to settle. He'll send it across the field to Jake Manning. Another possession-oriented approach here. Manning looks to take Tommy Moran. Moran does a good job playing the outside shoulder, forces him back. Racine looking for a second goal tonight, but Cannon Coyle chases him away. Kieran Hughes looks to take Danny Dettinger down towards net. Dettinger with a nice check. He looks like he's going to be called for a hold.
What do you call it? Take your time. No hurry. No hurry.
Racine. Cannon Coyle with the yard sale check will bring us to a stoppage as the Indians will have their first man down of the evening.
No, I did it myself. Want me to sub in for a while?
Riverdale just missing an opportunity on the delayed penalty call.
See number 5, Matt Puckowitz, and number 20, Braden Phillips check into the game. Indians must have confidence in this defensive set as they're going to be man down for the next 30 seconds as there's been another technical foul assessed against the Indians.
Number 10, Charlie Racine for Riverdale heads to the bench. Wonder if he's okay.
Riverdale working it around. Great check put on by Jack White. Ball's loose. And that's going to be corralled by Cannon Coyle. He sends it up to Jack White. Jack White looks to the middle of the field, finds Braden Phillips. Indians will have to play keep away for the duration of this penalty. Indians still working it around. Surprised we haven't seen the Hawks double team.
Lazy.
And the penalty is released. We're back to 6-on-6 lacrosse. Regan Capizoli unable to crawl the pass. Ty ran with the ground ball. He'll send it over to Mark Dubois. Dubois shot. Not on net. Bookfield's first man to the ball. The Indians will keep possession. Cal Lacaruba with the shorty on it down towards X. He'll roll back, beats his man, gets a step. Dumps it off to Dubois, swings it to Pellegrino. Back to Moran, shot. Nice save by Alex Sender.
Moran just missed that one wide.
Lacaruba still has a short stick on him, looking to take advantage of that matchup. Ball's knocked down. Indians are unable to gain possession. Number 12, Zach Kay called for the trip. The Indians are going to gain possession here. Moran surrounded by black jerseys, looking to dump it off quickly. He's able to beat his man to the outside. Indians settle with 7:30 left in the second quarter. Moran beats his man. He'll send it back to Pellegrino, who crossed it over to Dubois. He gets a step. Dumps it down. That's picked off by number 13, David Fletcher. Nice check put on by Tommy Moran. Indians are going to gain possession after a turnover. Ty, we've seen a lot of back and forth tonight.
Yeah, and Fletcher just got the interception for the Golden Hawks. He's been a big part of their defense tonight. He's actually had a couple picks, so keep an eye on him to be a force to be reckoned with.
And look for him to get the break started after he gets those interceptions with 1 goal and 2 assists on the season so far. Moran with a split dodge. With his left. That'll go wide and the Indians will keep possession. Regan Capizoli takes it by the right side of X. He's being guarded by number 3. The ball over to Moran. Moran will again look to beat his man. Shot, another save. Alex Sender's been a brick wall since allowing that goal early in this game. Shot. Just mentioned it. David Fletcher likes to be a one-man fast break, and he almost capitalized there off loose ball.
Yeah, nearly took that one coast to coast.
After a missed opportunity on the fast break, look for the Hawks to settle here and try to get a better shot. Jake Manning sends it over to number 11, Max Sender. Sender sends it down to number 5. Jack White again applying good pressure. We've just reached the 5.5 minute mark here in the second quarter. Jake Manning beats Tommy Pellegrino. He gets a step. Danny Denninger sends some help. Shot. Bounces off Beninati and into the goal. With 5 minutes and 21 seconds left here in the second quarter, the Riverdale Golden Hawks take a 2-1 lead over the Wayne Valley Indians.
Beninati just couldn't corral that one, and it deflects off of him and into the net.
Manning with his 18th goal of the season.
Go! Full send! Look for it! Full send!
Number 14, Trey Ferguson checks into the game. Long pull, Danny Denninger taking the face-off for Indians. He's been pretty effective this year with a 55% success rate.
My finger's gonna freeze off of my hands. I'm pushing.
Another win for number 25, Kieran Hughes, who's been pretty dominant at face-off X. Good check put on by Danny Denninger. Regan Capizoli sends it over to Cal Laccaruba. Indians got a touch in the box and they'll look to settle. He dumps it off to 14, Trey Ferguson.
Keep trying, bud.
As we near the 4.5 minute mark, the Indians still trail 2-1. Cal Laccaruba tries a roll dodge, tries another one, unable to beat his man. Another save by Alex Sender. That's his 4th of the evening.
Sender's been huge for Riverdale tonight. Absolute wall.
Riverdale will settle as number 42, Russell Yoon, dumps it off to number 44, Thomas Quinn. Hawks looking to score their 3rd unanswered goal. Yoon tries to beat his man. He's not going anywhere. Ball's loose. That's going to be corralled by Cannon Coyle, who hands it off to his goalie. Connie will look to start a break. Gives it back to Beninati. Connie possesses.
Where's the ball?
Back to Beninati. Looks like they're just playing a game of cat and mouse. Beninati with a balance pass over to Trey Ferguson. Dubois checks in for Ferguson. Just reached the 3-minute mark here in the second quarter as the Indians look to tie the game up. Robbie Razor, he'll get stripped by number 12, Zach Kay. Another turnover for the Indians. They've really been shooting themselves in the foot tonight with those. Another long pull for the Hawks. Looks to start a fast break, but he decides to settle at the behest of his coach. Kieran Hughes dumps it off the Racine. Beninati with the save.
Let's go, Valley!
Beninati double teamed. Great execution of the ride. Sal Albanese with the goal after forcing the turnover. With exactly 2 minutes left in the second quarter, the Hawks jump out to a 3-1 lead over the Indians.
Riverdale putting great pressure on Beninati and got the pass out front and put it in the net.
Hey, let's go! Take it off, guys.
Nothing is going right for the Indians so far.
Very.
Be aggressive.
You got to think Coach Glander is going to have a word with them at halftime and hopefully whip them into shape here in the second half.
Really, this has been a case where the Indians are beating themselves with these costly turnovers.
Yeah, it's been the turnovers, the face-offs, really everything going wrong for the Indians that could go wrong.
Ty Moran will look to turn it around.
Damn it, Josh.
He's unable to.
When you step. That's 2 steps. He's got to pop it
Hughes
out.
wins his 4th face-off of the evening.
Learn the game. You're missing a great thing. Let's get it.
The Indians haven't given up more than 3 goals all season, and they're already at that, and we're not even at halftime.
Oh my God.
Riverdale's clearly a very good opponent.
She wasn't there. Oh my God.
What game was that? I was there for some of them.
Hawks have the opportunity to hold for one if they choose to, with just over a minute left in the first half. Jake Manning beats Braden Phillips, turns him around. He'll dump it off. That one will get knocked down. Ball's loose. Cannon Coyle with a big ground ball. The Indians have a minute left to try to make something happen. Coyle with the risky pass. Gets it up to Danny Dettinger. They're not going to stop ball. Dettinger fires. Sender collects his 5th save of the evening.
A great save by Sender.
Dettinger was looking for his 7th goal of the season, but nothing doing there. Sure, Coach Glander would have liked to see Dettinger bounce that shot there. "30 seconds left in the first half. Riverdale calls a timeout with 20 seconds left in the first half, looking to draw something out. Look for Coach Glander to implore his defense to make one final stand so they can go down into the halftime only down 2.
The way they've been playing, they're not used to being down at halftime, so Coach Glander's going to have a word with the defense here and trying to get them to do something different because whatever they've been doing tonight hasn't been working against the powerful Riverdale offense.
Whether it's the weather, the strong opponent, the Indians just look out of sorts tonight, but Coach Glander showed up with the mantra, no excuses, and I'm sure he's reminding his players of that.
God, Josh, we're jamming out right now.
And you mentioned the no excuses line that Coach Glander likes to use. And there really is no excuse for what the Indians have been doing tonight. I mean, it's on them. It's not – Riverdale's been great on offense, but the Wayne Valley's been making so many mistakes, whether it's face-offs, turnovers, and missed opportunities in the zones, then Riverdale's just been able to capitalize really well. So if Wayne Valley can get on track and do what they need to do, then they should be pretty good off in the second half and get back on track with what they've been doing the whole season. That's winning.
Here's a pick set. They send it over to number 42, Russell Ewan, who beats his man. Another save by Beninati. Brayden Phillips with the ground ball. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Riverdale leads 3-1. The Indians are going to have to go back to the drawing board and try to fix up their game plan if they want to get a lead or tie it up.
Yeah, they got a lot to work on. Riverdale's been really great in the second quarter. The first quarter was kind of even, both halves. Riverdale came out screaming in the second quarter, and we should have a great game to see in the second half.
Reminder that the Indians did win their first game of the season in overtime against a strong Jefferson team, so they have been in situations like this before. Don't go anywhere as we'll be back in 9.5 minutes with the second half.
Hey, boys, let's go. Hawks on 3, ready? 1, 2, 3, Hawks, let's go.
Welcome back to Wayne Valley Television, bringing you Wayne Valley boys lacrosse against the visiting Riverdale Hawks. The Indians trail 3-1. The story of the first half has been a bunch of costly turnovers from the Indians, very uncharacteristic of Coach Bander's team. Tyler, what adjustments do you look for the Indians to make here?
Well, Wayne Valley, first off, they got to stop making the costly turnovers and missed opportunities that they haven't been doing all season, but they've been doing tonight against a really good team in the Riverdale Golden Hawks. So if they stop making the costly turnovers and missed opportunities, then I think they should be pretty good off in the second half.
Hughes gets the ball stuck in his cross. That's a violation. Tommy Pellegrino gets a step on his man. Splits the defenders, and the Indians will look to settle. Again, we're seeing aggressive defense put on by the Hawks. Great check put on by number 4, Michael Sirico. The Hawks gain possession. Another forced turnover. Indians will look to get a ride going. Number 7, Cole Drozdrak checks into the game. Hawks clear it. Nice check put on by Danny Dettinger. But that's going to get whistled dead.
Riverdale looking for a trip on Thomas Quinn.
And it looks like they'll get it. Danny Dettinger called for his second hold of the evening, the Indians' third penalty. They'll be man down for the next 30 seconds. These are the type of mistakes you can't make when you're trailing. You need to have as many possessions as possible. You can't be playing man down.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from a 3-1 lead when you're down a man. Just takes time off the clock, and time is a valuable thing you have.
See assistant coach John Chavone talking to Danny Dettinger about his mistake. Rip. Number 42, Russell Yoon with the absolute rocket from the top of the box. Hawks jump out to a 4-1 lead, and the Indians are now in a 3-goal hole.
And again, it's the mistake that Dettinger made with the trip on Thomas Quinn that allowed Russell Yoon to get the goal for Riverdale. Riverdale now up 4-1.
Great execution there on the man up in the man up situation. With 10 minutes and 44 seconds left in the third quarter, Tommy Moran dropped out to the faceoff X to try to get a big win for the Indians. Ball's loose. No one's able to gain possession. Sent over towards the sideline. Tommy Moran tries to save it. He's unable to. Riverdale with possession.
Connor Murphy checks in for the Riverdale.
Hughes dumps it off to Manning. Manning looking for his second goal of the evening. Racine sends it over to Hughes, who passed it to Manning. Manning breathes Braden Phillips, gets a step. Ball's knocked down. Cannon Coyle with possession. Seems to be trying to do too much. Number 22, Rich Jinding, got a little too aggressive, and it looks like he'll be called for the trip. Well, let's see what the head official has to say.
It's a charismatic penalty call by the referee. Flag got air.
That's going to be 30 seconds for 22 in black after the trip. Indians man up for the next 30 seconds. Just under 10 minutes here as the Indians look to start making their comeback.
It's these chances that the Indians have right now with the man advantage that they need to capitalize if they want to get back in this game.
Ball over to La Caruba. Another turnover by the Indians. They're unable to sustain possession. That's the second time tonight we've seen the Indians throw the ball away in a man-up opportunity. These are the type of mistakes that they just can't make. Against a good team like Riverdale, careless mistakes like passing and catching just can't happen. Good clearing opportunity, but that's picked off by Mike McConaughey. Trey Ferguson looks to beat Hughes to the outside. He throws it behind Danny Dettinger. And then now Dettinger throws it away. But the Hawks are going to be called for an offside. Indians catch a lucky break after throwing the ball away twice. The ball flips to his left, sends it over to Pellegrino, who's had a quiet night so far despite being the team's leading goal scorer. Riverdale coaching staff looking for a ward called on Dubois as he uses his offhand. Pressure being put on by Nystead. He forces Reed to absolutely give it up. The Indians will look to work it around again.
Indians with great ball movement here. Trying to capitalize and create something here.
No real sense of urgency yet from the Indians despite the 3-goal deficit. They know it's a long second half. Zach Hay putting pressure on Ty Pellegrino, who gets a step shot. And he'll put it into the top of the net. Great bounce shot. Ty Pellegrino with his 21st goal of the season. With 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter, the Indians start cutting into the deficit. They've scored, this is their first goal since the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. Scoring drought has officially been ended.
A great opportunity created by Pellegrino. The ball movement for Wayne Valley was really key in that goal. They can keep that up, and looks like that's what they've been doing most of the season, and that's how they've been winning and scoring a lot the goals that they have been. So if they can keep that up, they should be good for the second half.
This would be a big face-off win if Ty Moran can pull it off. And the Indians gain possession. Danny Moran. Danger beats his man. Flag down. He throws it away, but the Indians are going to have yet another man-up situation as it looks like Riverdale's going to be called for the slash.
Might be sensing a bit of a momentum shift in the favor of Wayne Valley.
Number 4, Michael Sirico, called for the slash on senior Danny Dettinger. The Indians are going to have another man-up opportunity, their third of the evening. As you just said, Tyler, the momentum could be shifting, the tides could be turning. Camille sends it to Dubois. Will swing it to Moran. Sends to Regan. Lacrosse unable to hold on to the ball. A third turnover on a man-up opportunity. But with a successful ride, the Indians were able to get it back. Dubois sends it to Pellegrino. Back to Dubois. Back to Lacrosse. Indians are still man up. Time's running out, though. They're going to have to try to make a move now. Capsuli dumps it off to Cavill, who's unable to get a shot off. The ball sends it over to Lacrosse, who rips, and he'll put it into the back of the net. For the first time all evening, the Indians capitalize on the man up. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a game. With 6 minutes left in the third quarter, the Indians put a goal back in, and they're back in it.
Cal Lacrosse with a great rip from the point. Cutting the goal to a one-goal game now, 4-3 in favor of Riverdale.
Indians offense starting to find ways to beat Alexander, who was dominant in the first half with 5 saves. Ty Moran with one of the first wins of the night for the Indians. Ball's loose. Riverdale man jumped early. The Indians are going to keep possession. For those unfamiliar with lacrosse, when there's a face-off, the attack and the defense have to stay in the restraining area until possession's established.
That was David Fletcher, number 13 for Riverdale.
Capsoli sends it over to Lacrosse. He'll look for a second goal in as many possessions. Sends it over to Dubois. Right off the helmet of number 9, Neisted. Tommy Rand looks to beat his man. He gets a step, dumps down the Dražak, who can't finish. Ball's loose. Unnecessary there. Let's see who this one's getting called on. That's going to be number 6, Connor Murphy. I'd expect unnecessary roughness called here as he just shoved Cole Droshok for apparently no reason. Expect this one to be non-releasable, folks. And that's what it looks like. Riverdale's going to be a man down for the minute, regardless of how many goals are scored here. Unnecessary roughness. What a bonehead mistake.
Yeah, Connor Murphy, a mistake that cannot be made in a one-goal game where Riverdale is in a must-win game.
In a situation where you're trying to hold on to the lead, mistakes like that can't happen. Just like the Indians can't make mistakes as they're trying to get back into the game, Riverdale really can't help them. Moran steps down, and he'll put it in. Indians capitalize off the mistake. Tommy Moran with his 15th goal of the season, and the Indians tied up. They've now scored 3 unanswered. With 4.5 left in the third quarter, we have a tie game here at Wayne Valley.
And we mentioned the momentum shift earlier in the half, and it's clear now as Wayne Valley ties up the ball game. We've got a little over 15 minutes left in the game for some really great lacrosse.
We expected this one to be competitive throughout, and that's exactly what we've gotten. Can't wait to see what this next quarter and a half have to bring. Ty Moran jumped early, and Riverdale's going to gain possession. First possession Riverdale's had in a while. They're probably going to look to possess for a little bit, make the Valley defense work.
And we've seen the Wayne Valley offense come out strong in the second half, and we really haven't seen their defense at all. So it'll be good to see if they've rebounded and they've gotten the momentum shift that the offense has.
Yoon gets a step. Nice recovery by Tommy Pellegrino. Danny Dettinger with the phenomenal check, but the Indians are not able to corral loose ball. Mike McConaughey jumped just a second too soon. Beninati picks it off.
Riverdale keeping up with the pressure that succeeded them in first half.
Moran sends it up to Dubois, who's able to crowd off the bounce. Shot! Alex Sender collects his 6th save of the evening, but another flag being thrown against Riverdale. Mark Dubois hit the turf hard, and let's see what the ref calls. Number 44, Thomas Quinn, called for another penalty, this time a cross check.
That's Quinn's 3rd penalty of the night. Sorry, 2nd penalty of the night. Referee had a bit of a word with him after the penalty was called.
Riverdale coaching staff unhappy with that call. Seemed to be a bit of a late whistle. With 3 minutes left in the third quarter, the Indians will look to take their first lead in over 2 quarters. Cavill sends it down to Capizzoli. Excuse me, that's Dubois. Indians passing it around. Cavill rolls back at step. Seeing a lot of picks being set around the crease, looking to free up shooters around the goal. Moran dumps it off to Capizzoli. Back to Moran. Dubois takes a step down shot. That's going to be wide right. Sidewinder can't find Twine. And the penalties released were even. Indians now 1 for 4 in their man-up opportunities this evening.
And Kieran Hughes will now get to help his team on defense, coming in for Riverdale off the penalty.
Under 2 minutes here in the third quarter. Still a tie score. Dubois gives a pick for Moran. Moran gets a step on Hughes. Moran fires, and he finds the back of the net for his second goal tonight. Indians take a 5-4 lead here with a minute and a half left in the third quarter.
Indians coming up with 4 now unanswered goals in the second half. Coming out really strong and gaining all the momentum.
We talked about the patient, possession-oriented approach that the Indians have practiced all season, and it seems to be working brilliant here in this third quarter. Not forcing anything, finding the open man, and the rest is falling into place.
Yeah, and we saw them in the first half. They looked a little bit out of sorts, a little bit off their game. Coming out of the second half, they had a couple minutes where it was similar to the first half. Russell Yoon for Riverdale scored a goal to make it 4-1, and ever since then, Wayne Valley's just awakened, and they've now scored 4 unanswered goals, now taking the lead 5-4.
Brandon Hughes scrapped for it, but ball's loose. Connor Murphy fresh out of the penalty box, crowds loose ball. With a minute left here in the third quarter, can the Indians hold? Hughes looks to beat Braden Phillips. Murphy dropped it off to Jending.
Riverdale possibly holding for the last shot here.
Just reached the 30-second mark. Racine looking for his second goal in the net. Looks to dump it into Manning, but he throws it away, and the Indians are going to gain possession with 20 seconds left. Bacani will give it to Beninati. Beninati to Ferguson. 10 seconds left. Ferguson's going to have to push. 5 seconds. 4. That ball is going to get picked off by David Fletcher, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. After an offensive explosion in the third quarter, the Indians lead 5-4.
The Wayne Valley team that we've seen here in the second half, the second half of that third quarter. I'm sorry, second half of the third quarter was a completely different team than we saw in the first half.
This is the team that jumped out to a 7-0 start on the season. This is what Wayne Valley Lacrosse has come to known as.
And we mentioned it at the very beginning of the broadcast that a lot of people are saying this could be the best team that Wayne Valley Lacrosse has ever put out on the field. And we've definitely seen it here in the second half of this game and beginning of the season.
type of grinded-out game that'll serve both these teams well later in the season when they try to make runs deep into county and state tournaments.
Yeah, Wayne Valley looking to keep the record undefeated. A really big resume builder this would be for Riverdale, as a push to the playoffs is imminent in their future.
Both these teams need this win for power points as they try to build their resume to get a high seed in the state tournament. Kieran Hughes is going to be looking for his 6th face-off win of the evening, while Mark Ball will be looking for his 1st. And we're off in the 4th quarter. Hughes with his 7th face-off win of the night. Quick, fast break. The Indian stop ball. Nice check put on there by Cannon Coyle. Charlie Racine will settle for the Hawks. Yoon puts a move on Pellegrino, but the help comes from Danny Dettinger. Wide open man on crease. Huge save by Beninati. Beninati picks up his 5th save of the evening.
Well, Riverdale was able to get it into Racine right in front of Beninati. Beninati comes up with a really big save for the Indians.
Let's go, Valley!
Danny Dettinger called for his 3rd penalty of the evening. It looks like a cross check. From our vantage point, we didn't really see anything. Questionable call for sure. With 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter, the Indians lead by 1, and the defense is going to have to hold here in the man-down situation. Ball's loose, but Riverdale holds on. Yoon looks for a step down. Beautifully executed play, only to be thrown away as Thomas Quinn can't reel in the pass. Hawks executed their offense perfectly before that last pass. Jack White knocks down the pass. Indians have to hold for 10 more seconds here, and they'll come out of this man-down situation unscathed. And they're unable to, as number 22, Rich Jinding, will put it in for his 1st goal of the night. With 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, we have a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Saw a nice pass across the field from number 25, Kieran Hughes. He's been absolutely huge for the Hawks tonight.
Yeah, Hughes has been great in the middle of the field, creating opportunities and pushing up the field, needing with a huge goal there, just getting in front of Beninati. Anyone's game now with 10 minutes left.
Dettinger with the spin after bringing in a loose ball. Another spin, drops his man, but he's unable to hold on to the ball. Dettinger looking for a goal, but he's unable to put it in. That's Alexander's 7th save of the evening. Indians called for loose ball push. Hawks gain possession. Timeout called by Riverdale with 9 minutes and 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Tyler, you hear it said a lot in sports where there's these back and forth games. They'll say that whoever gets the ball last is probably who's going to win the game, and I think that's what we have in our hands here tonight.
Yeah, we've got a great 9.5 minutes ahead of us. Really some great lacrosse. Not the highest of scoring games we've seen from either of these teams, but defense is holding on big here, and we're going to have a fight to the finish.
Tyler, some of these players like Nick Beninati, Tommy Pellegrino, Mike McConaughey, they've been around a while. They've played a lot of lacrosse for Wayne Valley. So how do you think that experience is going to carry over these next 9.5 minutes?
I mean, the experience is going to be huge. Playing late in games and coming up big for their team is something that's learned, and experience is really important when it comes down to the wire like this 5-5 game that we have here. And I think a player to watch is going to be Tommy Pellegrino, the Wayne Valley's leading scorer. I think he'll be the difference maker in these last couple minutes.
Definitely have a strong case there, as he was the one who netted the overtime winner in their first game of the season against Jefferson. Definitely has a flair for the dramatic and scoring in clutch situations. Tom Quinn sends it over to Albanese. Yoon looks to take Ferguson. Hawk sending it around the horn. Sender dumps down to Nending, who will be looking for his second goal of the evening. Jack White doing a great job checking that bottom hand. We're nearing the 8-minute mark. Riverdale with possession. Tie game. Ewan beats Ferguson. Help comes from freshman Braden Phillips. Racine looks to beat Coyle. Coyle with a nice check. Racine somehow holds on to possession. Neither side's caving so far. Pass is almost picked off by McConaughey. Another save by Beninati. He'll look to clear. With 7 minutes left, the Indians gain possession. Capizoli sends it over to Moran. Indians looking to make something happen. Dubois can't beat his man. He'll send it back to Tommy Moran.
Wayne Valley trying to find that hold in the Riverdale defense where they can squeak one pass and get another goal on the board. Riverdale holding really well on defense, though.
Tommy Moran looking to force the issue. Moran looking for someone to dump the ball off to. Riverdale doing a good job blocking off their man. Moran gets a step on Quinn. He's unable to put it in. Nice hustle from Moran to keep possession as Kyle Cavill is going to take it with 5.5 left. That's Sender's 8th save of the night. La Caruba drops his man. He puts a nice move on him. Ball's loose. Indians avoid a huge turnover late in the game with 5 minutes left. La Caruba gives over to Cavill. Sends it to Pellegrino. Capizzoli has a shorty on him again. He's going to have to take advantage of this mismatch. Pass gets knocked down. Another turnover for the Indians. 4.5 left. That's not the type of lacrosse you're looking to see. McConaughey picks it off, though. Well executed by the senior captain. Just reached the 4-minute mark. Indians going to have to value that ball like gold these last few minutes. Capzoli unable to beat his man. He'll send it over to Pellegrino. Back to Capzoli. Tommy Moran looking to complete the hat trick. He has a short stick on him. Can he take advantage of this mismatch? Capzoli gives him the pick. Moran beats his guy. Sender with a huge save, his 9th of the night. Riverdale throws it away, though. This could be a huge turning point in the game. Glander talking to Moran, not wanting to waste a timeout, just talking to him there on the sideline. Capzoli sets another screen for Moran. 2.5 minutes left. We're still tied here at Wayne Valley. Dubois gets a step, shot! And Dubois will put it in for his 2nd goal of the night.
Huge goal for Wayne Valley as they take the lead here, 6-5 with 2.5 minutes left.
With 2 minutes and 19 seconds, the Indians jump out to a 6-5 lead. They're going to rely on their dominant defense to hold here. A huge goal here for the Indians. Kieran Hughes is going to have to win his 8th faceoff of the night to give the possession to the Hawks if they want to have a good chance of getting a goal here these last 2 minutes.
Faceoffs have been something that Wayne Valley has been struggling with. Faceoff win here would be huge.
Send out to Kay. Kay finds Yoon cutting across the field. Indians are going to have to make a stand here in the last 2 minutes. Racine goes below G lead towards X. He'll send it over to Ninding. Nice check put on by Braden Phillips. He almost forces a turnover. Cut across by Racine, gets step. Wide left. Perfectly executed offense there by the Hawks. They just can't find the back of the net.
Missed opportunity there with now only under a minute left, under a minute and a half left, I'm sorry, for Riverdale to put something together and tie up this game.
Indians are going to have to protect the middle of the crease as it looks like the Hawks have a lot of offense, guys cutting across the middle. Racine tries to beat Cannon Coyle. Cannon Coyle holds strong. Racine rolls back. He can't find it. Jack White's going to have to apply pressure. Jack White with a nice check. After a situation where Sukos is called, Riverdale is going to call a timeout here with 53 seconds left. Indians defense with some huge checks right there.
Especially Jack White on the defensive end, really coming up big and forcing a little bobble of the ball there for Riverdale and forcing him off the rhythm. I think if Riverdale is going to get something going here, it's going to be Racine trying to get into the middle of the crease. He's been really good, a couple missed shots, but he's probably got to put something together eventually. He had the first goal for Riverdale and a nice bounce in the middle of the crease. So maybe we'll see that again from him.
Look for Riverdale to put the ball in the hands of senior Kieran Hughes. He's been their playmaker all night long, and I'd expect them to ride him out to try to make something happen. Maybe look for Racine, like you said, cutting across the middle. You mentioned that Jake Manning's been their leading goal scorer all season, so maybe they'll try to get him a shot. A surprising move, though. Riverdale elects not to put their leading goal scorer on the field. Indians trot out with 53 seconds left. Can their defense make one final stop? Hughes being guarded by Phillips. Pass almost picked off. Hawks working it around. Ninding looks to put a step. He rips it. Tried bouncing the sidewinder in, but he was unable to find the back of the net. He's just reached the 30-second mark, folks. Racine finds a cutter. Huge save by Beninati.
Looks like that one ricocheted off the post.
Coach Glander with the timeout. Beninati with his 6th save of the night. Indians lead 6-5 with 16 seconds left.
Riverdale literally missed that one by a couple inches as it went off the post. So the opportunity's there, but they've just come inches short.
What an exciting game we've had to call tonight, Tyler.
Absolute thriller, Tom.
Indians gonna need to make one final clear here. Look for the Hawks to send some sort of double team. We've seen a lot of clutch lacrosse here these past few minutes from the Indians. Coach Glander's putting the ball in the hands of senior captain Danny Dettinger. Clearly putting a lot of faith in one of his team leaders. Dettinger throws it as high as he can, wasting precious seconds. Brilliant play call there by Coach Glander. 3, 2, ball's knocked down. And the Indians are gonna hold on for a huge win. They improved to 8-0 and knock off 5-2 Riverdale. This is a huge win for a program on the rise.
And as they've been called the greatest Wayne Valley boys lacrosse team that the school has ever put on the field, they stay undefeated, improving to 8-0. Riverdale falls to 5-3 now.
Expect the game ball to go out to senior Mark Dubois with a clutch goal there in the last 2 minutes, putting the Indians up by 1. We had an unbelievable game tonight, Tyler. This is a huge win for the Wayne Valley boys lacrosse team.
Yeah, great game tonight by both teams. Riverdale just coming up a little short, and a could-be resume builder that for them. Tom, we had the lacrosse game last year together. We had the one this year. Obviously, you're a senior, so I'll miss you next year, buddy.
Appreciate it, Tyler. It's been fun, but let's not get distracted from the fact that this is Mr. Jonathan Randall's last boys lacrosse game as the head producer of Video Club as we usher in his final spring Video Club season.
Yeah, he's been a huge part of the Wayne Valley television production for upwards of 20 years now. So it's crushing to see him go this year. We'll have to manage without him next year. It'll be hard. It'll be tough, but he's been so important to everything we've done here. Just a special thanks to him in his last boys lacrosse game.
Look for the Wayne Valley boys lacrosse team to be back in action Saturday morning, senior day, as they take on the visiting DePaul Catholic Spartans. Stay tuned for all of that Wayne Valley Television has to offer. We're going to be filming Valley's World tomorrow. We'll be back in action out on the field on the turf Monday night, girls lacrosse senior night. Looking forward to a great game. For Tyler Maines, I'm Tom Santinello. We'll see you next time.